Welcome to Must See Movies Fantasy Edition. I'm Taylor Ritchie. Our first review is for the movie It Follows. Let's take a look at the trailer.
I used to daydream about being old enough to go on dates. I had this image of myself holding hands with a really cute guy, driving along some pretty road. It was never about going anywhere, really. Just having some sort of freedom, I guess.
Jay, you awake?
What did you do?
You're not gonna believe me, and I need you to remember what I'm saying. This thing, it's gonna follow you. Somebody gave it to me, and I passed it to you. Wherever you are, it's somewhere walking straight for you.
All you can do is pass it along to someone else.
I'm scared. I need to find him.
What did it really do to you?
Apparently, he used a fake name to rent a house in the city.
This isn't real, I swear to you, this is just some game. If it kills her, it gets me and goes straight down the line to whoever started it.
What exactly is supposed to be following you?
I don't know.
Something happened. It's not what she thinks, okay?
You don't believe me.
Mom?
No, it's me.
Everything's okay.
It could look like someone you know, or it could be a stranger in a crowd. Whatever helps it get close to you.
Reviewing our first film with me today is Chris Lemon from LaSalle College. So Chris, what did you think of the film?
Well, this was one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I thought it was really great, very conceptual. It wasn't just like a pop-out sort of, scary movie that we're used to. It got me thinking.
Now tell me about the group of kids in the movie.
Well, it follows a group of It follows. A group of kids who are trying to beat this monster that is following, their friend, this poor girl. And what's so scary about this monster is that only she is the person who can see it. So for part of it, they're juggling the fact that maybe our friend is just crazy. Maybe there's no monster, and that's what's so scary about it. So it makes you think.
In what shape does this monster take?
Well, it's a shapeshifter. It'll show up in any form. However, it can trick you into getting closer. It will take the shape of someone you know, someone you trust, or some completely arbitrary figure.
And how can you get away from it?
Well, one of the key aspects of the movie is that the monster only walks. So, our group of heroes here can buy themselves a couple of days by driving some hours, and the monster will walk and walk and walk, and it will follow you no matter where you go, but it's very slow.
And what was your favorite scene in the movie?
I'd have to say the opening scene, because we meet this girl who who's only here for the opening scene that this monster's following around. She's running out of her house and she's taking laps around the cul-de-sac in fear, and we don't see what she sees. Neither do her neighbors who are asking if she needs help. Is she okay? Now, of course, she gets attacked by the monster and she doesn't make it. But it just sets the movie up so well for like, what is going on? This is so strange.
Yeah. And what makes this film unique?
I think it's definitely this conceptual, it makes you think sort of aspect to the film. After we saw it, me and my friends were all talking about it the entire afternoon, just like, how would we get away from this monster? Like, how would we deal with what these kids are dealing with? Like, what would we do if we were in their shoes?
And what would you do if the monster was following you?
I proposed that I would jump on a plane, but then my friend told me, that's bad because you have to wait in the airport for a couple of hours beforehand. What if the monster gets into the airport, or even worse, onto the plane while you're in flight? Then you're done for.
That's true. And do you think the trailer accurately foreshadowed the movie?
Oh yeah, it really brings out the sort of indie vibe that this movie has. It's I wouldn't say low budget, but it's all the actors aren't big name actors, and there was a lot of money spent on the movie, but I think it was really, really well done.
And would you like to see a sequel to the movie?
I think it was well done as it is. I don't think it needed a sequel.
And here are the final scores on the first film of today's program. We both gave the movie a 10.
Absolutely. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
Chris, thank you for co-hosting this segment with me. I enjoyed your company. We'll be right back with more must-see reviews right after this commercial break. Don't go away. The MSPCA Boston Adoption Center is a brilliant organization that works to provide the best possible home for animals in need. One of the many animals looking for a new home is this lovable boy, Red. Red is an 11-month-old pit bull who is looking for a new home. His most recent owner was not able to give him the time and attention that he deserves. Currently, the MSPCA Boston Adoption Center takes care of thousands of animals per year. The mission of the MSPCA and the Angel Animal Medical Center is to protect animals, relieve suffering, advance health and welfare, prevent cruelty, and to work for a just and compassionate society. The MSPCA is a nonprofit charity organization that relies solely on generous donations from the public. If you do not have funds to donate, that is not a problem. There are plenty of other ways to help the Adoption Center by volunteering and donating much-needed items. For more information, you can visit the MSPCA Adoption Center in South Boston. For over 50 years, the YMCA's Camp Gorham has been a staple of the Adirondack Mountain experience. Camp Gorham is a proud member of the American Camps Association, which recognizes the highest standards of program quality. Not to mention the arts and crafts, where campers can make replicas of the area's local animals, just like the eastern moose. Sitting on top of 1,500 acres of the west central Adirondacks, campers can enjoy a variety of activities like horseback riding or swimming. The brand new dining hall sits 500, and tasty treats are always on the menu. Register now for summer sessions at www.campgorham.org. Come see why Gorham will always be your home away from home. LaSalle's Service Learning Program has been conducting programs all over the world. We call it LaSalle Says Thank You. Since 2003, our student volunteers have organized dozens of trips in coordination with various charities. Our own students have helped to aid the homeless, clean up public areas, and more recently, work to rebuild communities. One recent trip saw students out to New Jersey, where they aided in construction shoreline of houses for those whose homes were destroyed. And our Shoulder to Shoulder Abroad programs help extend our outreach all over the world. Locations have included Vietnam, Ecuador, and Tanzania, among others. These opportunities not only benefit the world at large, but our students as well. Each Shoulder to Shoulder trip is a substantial linked credit opportunity. That's just another example of how connected learning can work for our community. LaSalle says thank you. Dyslexia is a learning disability that affects over 40 million American children and adults. At the Paul Rabel Foundation, they are trying to help people with dyslexia through the sport of lacrosse. They have partnered with the Lab School in Washington, D.C., and helped create a men's and women's varsity lacrosse program. Since their inception, the Paul Rabel Foundation has distributed 62 scholarships to students with dyslexia. These students have gone on to do great things both in the classroom and the lacrosse field. To help these students still strive to do great things, you can give a stick, provide gear, or help build a scholarship. You can visit the Paul Rabel Foundation at www.paulrabelfoundation.org. The Paul Rabel Foundation, shaping lives through sports. Welcome back to Must See Movies Fantasy Edition. I'm Taylor Ritchie. Our second review is for the movie Hannah. Let's preview the trailer.
You're dead. Right now. I've killed you.
You were half asleep.
I'll do better next time.
Tell me again.
Adapt or die.
Think on your feet.
Even when I'm sleeping. I'm ready.
All you have to do is flip that switch. It tells Mr. Riegler where we are. Only you can get close enough. She won't stop until you're dead. Or she is.
Come and find me.
Marissa, we picked up an unencrypted signal below the Arctic Circle. We think it's Eric Heller.
Heller is a rogue asset. I propose we go in and pull him out. We need to keep this contained, gentlemen.
Papa.
Remember what I taught you, you'll be fine.
Heller was gone, but we found this kid.
I want to speak to Marissa Wiegler.
My name is Marissa Weyler. You wanted to speak to me? It's okay.
What do you want, Marissa?
I need you to do things my agency will not let me do. The girl is still alive.
If we're going to be friends, you're going to have to be honest. I'd like to have a friend. What is it? It's something about me. I don't understand the rest of it. What's wrong with you? Whatever you do, promise not to follow me. I promise.
I tried to prepare you.
You didn't prepare me for this.
Sometimes children are bad people, too.
Did she turn out as you hoped?
Better.
My guest for our second film review is Liam Howells from LaSalle College. So Liam, what are your thoughts on the film?
Well, I really enjoyed it. The directing was very good. It shows all the characters, really interesting to watch as the events unfold, and then all the acting is good, the cinematography. I really liked the soundtrack, so it was pretty good.
So give me a general outline of the movie without giving anything away.
So basically, this girl is being raised in the woods by her father to be an assassin, and there is this agent that's out to kill her and her father. So there's this button in her house in the woods that when she presses it, they'll alert this agency to their location, and she does. So she has to go on the run, but she gets sent to this facility because they capture her. And basically she breaks out and she's on the run while they're trying to kill her. And then she confronts the villain and they eventually have a standoff.
So you've talked about the main girl. Can you talk about the other characters?
Yeah, there's her father, played by Eric Bana, and he's pretty good. There's the villain, played by Kate Blanchett, who is very good. She shows her motivations and how she wants this girl dead because she poses a threat to her agency. Mm-hmm. So it's really good.
Which one's your favorite?
I really like the main character, Hannah, because the actress shows a lot of depth in her portrayal, and she shows different emotions throughout the film, like anger, fear, and then she shows like different sides of her character that are unseen before, so she's just really interesting to watch.
Do you have a favorite scene from the movie?
There's a scene that it's like near the beginning of the film where she's captured and she breaks out of this facility, and it's really tense because all these doors are closing and she's just narrowly escaping, so it's just interesting to watch her on the run.
It's the type of film that keeps you on the edge of your seat. And would you like to see a sequel to this?
I think I would, but I think it's fine as it is because the film leaves everything satisfied. It doesn't leave you with any questions, so it's all fine.
What are some of the standouts of the film?
I think at the end there's this confrontation. It's really tense because you don't know who is going to win, so it's just well done.
And now our final scores on the second film under review today. I gave the film an 8.
And I gave the film a 7.
Liam, thanks for stopping by and helping review this film. It's been a pleasure. Stay right here. We've got one more review for you that you don't want to miss coming up after the break. Everyone deserves to have a loyal best friend who is always excited to see them. You can easily make a new best friend by adding a lovable pet to your life through the MSPCA Angel Center. By becoming a pet owner, you instantly enhance your life and make a huge difference in an animal's life. Not only do you get to take care of something you love, but you also have a new buddy. You can eat together, go on walks together, and you always have someone to hang out with. Adopt a dog from the MSPCA. As they say, a dog is a man or woman's best friend. Or if dogs aren't exactly what you're looking for, the MSPCA has numerous types of adoptable animals. Cats, rabbits, and horses are just a few others that are waiting to be welcomed into a new home. Adoption centers are located in Boston, Methuen, and Cape Cod. You can check out mspca.org for more information about the MSPCA adoption centers. 24 hours, one game, one goal. Shootout for Soldiers offers the opportunity for lacrosse players of all ages to play for a good cause. Founded in 2012, Shootout for Soldiers has raised $512,000 in its first 3 years. These funds have gone to the Wounded Warrior Project, which has helped us expand to 5 more cities in 2016. Without the men and women of our armed forces, we wouldn't be able to enjoy our sport of lacrosse. Due to the tremendous success and amazing volunteer outreach, we will now offer a 24-hour simultaneous women's game. Men's and women's lacrosse players ages 10 and up, including active duty soldiers and veterans, are welcome. For more information about Shootout to Soldiers, go to www.shootoutforsoldiers.com to see when we will be in a city near you. If you have a child that is motivated to learn and you live in the Boston area, the Stepping Stone Foundation can help your child all the way to college graduation. Founded in 1990, the Stepping Stone Foundation has helped underrepresented children reach their highest potential. The program's mission is to help children and young adults achieve endless educational opportunities and college success. In Boston, fewer than 20% of high school graduates complete a 4-year college degree. Stepping Stone's goal is to change that statistic by encouraging students through their rigorous programs. The foundation serves more than 1,600 scholars, ranging from ages 10 to 24. Scholars attend public, Catholic, and exam schools in Boston and study at public and private colleges across the U.S. 99% of students graduate high school and 92% enroll in college. To learn more or to apply, visit tsf.org/apply. When 5-year-old Andrew Swenson was living in the hospital during his bone marrow transplant, he noticed some of his friends didn't have their families around because both parents had to work in order to pay the bills. He asked his uncle if he could help some of his friends in the hospital, and this began Andrew's Helpful Hands. Andrew's Helpful Hands helps Massachusetts families pay their rent and mortgages while their child is going through the bone marrow transplant process and works to enlist more bone marrow donors for families who don't have a match. Andrew's Helpful Hands works to help families to be able to focus and love their child during treatment. Bone marrow is used for the stem cells found to create new cells in the body. A transplant can save a life. To learn more or to help a family going through the bone marrow transplant process, visit www.andrewshelpfulhands.com. You're watching Must See Movies Fantasy Edition. I'm Taylor Ritchie. Our third review is for the movie Hocus Pocus. Let's first watch the trailer.
Jump back. Twist the bones and bend the back. Here to discover the magical mystic.
Back in 1693, the people of Salem, Massachusetts, witches,
Yes?
thought they got rid of the Sanderson sisters for good.
We shall be back.
300 years later, it's Halloween Eve, and they're back.
Uh-oh. We're home.
Are you boys a little old to be trick-or-treating?
You're talking about 3 ancient hags versus the 20th century. How bad can it be?
Now they're digging up old friends
God, what a stench.
and running amok,
Amok.
looking for the one thing they miss most.
You stay for supper. I'm not hungry. Oh, but we are.
Only one boy has the power to stop them
Prepare to die again.
You have no powers here, you fool.
before all Salem falls under their spell. Walt Disney Pictures presents Bette Midler Sarah Jessica Parker
Would thou dance with me?
and Kathy Najimy. Hocus Pocus.
Into the night!
They love to fly, and it shows.
Good night. Sleep tight. No screaming.
Reviewing our third film with me today is Michelle Port from LaSalle College. So Michelle, tell us your thoughts on the film.
I thought it was a great movie. I first saw it when I was a little kid and I thought it was phenomenal. I still think that to this day. The cinematography is really amazing, the acting is just really great, and the storyline overall is a very engaging storyline.
So tell me the gist of the story without giving anything away.
Basically, there are these three sisters, the Sanderson sisters, and 300 years ago they tried to suck the lives out of all the children in Salem, and the townspeople of Salem obviously didn't let that fly. So basically the sisters get killed, but before they get killed they put a curse or a spell on a black flame candle, and if somebody lights the black flame candle then they will be brought back to life. So when they are brought back to life they kind of wreak havoc all over Salem in modern day.
So tell me more about the Sanderson sisters. What are their names?
There's Winnie, Sarah, and I forget the third one's name. I think it's Mary. And basically they all have different traits, and Winifred's kind of the leader. Sarah is sort of the ditzy one who doesn't really know what's going along. She just kind of follows her sister's lead. And then Mary is sort of the calming one. She tries to calm Winifred down because Winifred can get a little crazy.
Which one's your favorite?
Definitely Winifred, because she's the most over-the-top one. I thought Bette Midler did an amazing job in bringing that character to life, and she's just so fun to watch on screen.
Definitely, I agree. And you said the movie was set in Salem. Was it actually filmed there?
Some of it was filmed in Salem. All the scenes that took place during the day were filmed in Salem, Massachusetts, and then all the scenes during the night were filmed on a stage in Burbank, California.
Okay, and who was your favorite character in the movie?
My favorite character is probably Max Dennison, who is responsible for lighting the black flame candle and bringing the witches back to life. And he just moved to Salem from California, so he's really not all about Halloween until he gets thrown into this crazy situation on Halloween night with the witches.
And what's your favorite part of the movie?
My favorite part of the movie is probably the whole musical number, because every good movie has a musical number. And it's when the witches sing the song I Put a Spell on You at the dance that all the adults are at. And it's just a really fun number. I think that it kind of brings a new added level of life to the movie.
And speaking of musicals, the director has directed other musicals too.
Yeah, Kenny Ortega directed this film, and he also directed the High School Musical movies, which are very different. This film is a little darker and a little more twisted than the High School Musical movies. They're both Disney films, but obviously there's a lot more singing and dancing in High School Musical than this movie. But I thought he did a great job on both movies.
Let's take a look at our final scores for our third film of the broadcast. I gave the movie an 8.
And I gave the movie a 9.
We definitely recommend you going to see this movie, especially during Halloween. Michelle, I appreciate your help with today's show and hope you can join me again sometime. And thank you for watching Must See Movies. I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you next time. In the 21st century, diabetes has become a major problem for citizens living in the United States as well as the rest of the world. After the past decade, it has only gotten worse, impacting family upon family with each passing year. In order to fight and make Americans aware of the problems created by diabetes, the American Diabetes Association was born. At our organization, we strive to teach people about diabetes so they can learn about the effects it has on the people it impacts every day. To help support our nonprofit organization, American citizens can donate money to help fund our organization in our search to find a cure for diabetes. If you would like to learn more, please take your time to visit our website at www.diabetes.org. With your support, we can work together to fight the effects of diabetes and eventually find a cure so no one has to suffer from the harmful effects it creates. Massachusetts is currently in the 40th percentile when it comes to recycling. With organizations such as Mass Recycle, we can work to become a much greener state. There is currently a running shortage of landfill space, and by the year 2020, we will have to ship nearly 2 million tons of trash a year. Mass Recycle works to educate local residents on proper, environmentally safe ways to dispose of common and harmful waste, such as household products which contain mercury. By joining and becoming a member, you pledge to reduce Massachusetts waste and work toward a more reusable future. Help and become a member today at massrecycle.org, where you can receive updates and be informed by our newsletter. During the 2011-2012 NHL season, former Philadelphia Flyer Scott Hartnell created the Hartnell Down Foundation. Along with the foundation, he started tweeting the hashtag HartnellDown, allowing fans to help track the number of times he fell per game. Every time he falls on the ice, he donates money to support 3 subjects important to him: hockey, children, and communities across the USA and Canada. The organization helps provide the funds needed for youth hockey players to attend the highly respected Minnesota Summer Hockey Camp. In addition, Hartnell created t-shirts, hats, hoodies, and other promotional items supporters can purchase. All proceeds go towards sending more athletes to the Minnesota Hockey Camp. For more information or to make a donation, visit www.hartnelldown.com. Growing up, he grew tired of seeing scholarships, grants, and financial aid given to those with perfect grades, as though things seemed to have worked against him. He never wanted this to be the case again. These were the very thoughts of the founder of Limitless Tomorrow. He is famously known as Dr. Mike, who raised money by creating a raffle that would give one lucky donator a date night with him in New York. Doing this, he raised $91,000. Limitless Tomorrow's mission is to break financial barriers in order to empower capable and unique individuals to achieve their goals. The organization also wants to empower candidates to reach their full potential, explore the world, and conquer hardships. Today, I am encouraging you to not only donate to Limitless Tomorrow, but for students to apply for this amazing opportunity. Check out the application at limitlesstomorrow.org, closing March 4th, because it's time to reach success.